Sammy, happy Christmas Day.
Yes, Merry Christmas. How you doing?
I'm okay. Have you been this year?
Well, it's not a very easy question to answer, but more good than what's on the opposite of good. I've been better this year. Yeah, it's there's been growth. I've seen that definitely this year. Ups and downs as life usually presents, but that's what it is. This year has been a great year. How have you been?
I've been awesome. I mean, like you said, learning on every day, improving your lives as well too.
Okay, that's wonderful. All right, so this morning, as every Saturday, Mr. Patrick has, something he wants to share. I don't know if the Christmas edition will be different. If there's
Well, remarkably, it's the same thing in line with celebration.
Okay.
Honoring life. That's basically what it means. Why we're remembering this day.
Okay.
So that means there was a spectacular thing. So the question will be, are we honoring life really? Or the person that we're celebrating? So what is honor? To regard. And what is regard? Regard means to give heed, pay attention, careful thought, or attention. So if I say I'm honoring this day as a Christmas, representing the date of our Lord Jesus Christ, what that means, I have great regard. That means I'm giving heed. I'm paying attention, careful thought, with respect and admiration. So I'll be centering more on the admiration.
Okay.
And to show admiration. So it means, Asami, I admire you. It means I have regard for you. I pay attention to you. I take heed of you. So
yeah.
Now, if I'm going to regard this person, he says something. I tell you, this is a timeless truth. The person who follows me, because the person that admiration fuels aspiration.
Okay.
It fuels desire. So if I admire you, it means there are great qualities, there are something remarkable, there are skills, there are competencies that you have acquired that outweigh mine, that is higher. So I follow you. As I tell you this timeless truth, the person who follows me in faith, believing in me, will do same mighty works that I do. Even greater works than these, because I go to be with my Father. For I will do whatever you ask me to do when you ask me to do when in my name. And that is how the Son will show what the Father is really like and bring glory. So Sammy, it gave me thinking. I recall when my father died, everybody, they were crying. I don't know why they were crying. But what I was crying was, I admired my father and the virtues and all the whole praise that came out of it. My cry was, I know better than my father. Can I act much more than my father? Especially in his truth life, in his virtues like kindness and standing in for people. It kept me wondering. And so each time I celebrate my father, I'm actually reflecting those attributes, those virtues, those values, those principles, and how they are aiding me to be better than him.
Okay.
Right? So that's why Christ was saying, if you believe in me, greater works will you do. Because I go to my Father. And he says, if you say you love me, admire me, take heed. You see, honor means take heed. So that means take heed. That means love me, because I've empowered you to love me. So let's look at the concept of admiration and celebration. What is admiration? Admiration fuels inspiration. It fuels aspiration. It creates a strong desire. Now, admiration is a social emotion felt by observing. Don't forget the meaning of honor, heed, observe. So admiration is a social emotion felt by observing people of competency, talent, or special skill, attribute, exceeding standard. Admiration facilitates social learning. Admiration motivates self-improvement. True learning from the role models. So assuming that the person we're celebrating today will have admired certain attributes that set him aside as a role model. Admiration is connected to witnessing someone perform an act of exceeding virtue. Admiration for virtue. So this what is remarkable here is because admiration for virtue. So admiration is uplifting and motivating. Admiration is an empowering emotion that enables one to approach someone of a higher skill, one to copy, one to adapt, one to learn from that person. Admiration activates our belief that self-improvement based on the observed virtue is possible to acquire and attain and live. Admiration is also associated with tendency to praise the admired. You see, that's why we're praising the admired. We admired him because of his acts. And it brings us to close proximity. So if I like you, one of the reasons that we're going to relate is that value that we share, that I feel that is a higher standard. And he has demonstrated great and higher standard than any human being on earth. Admiration creates the intentions to associate, to cooperate, to emulate, to copy, to act the virtues of the admired. And now you cannot celebrate unless you list out, you observe those virtues, those remarkable, those spectacular, those outstanding, those extreme virtues that you think you're connected with. So that's what will bring you into that celebration. And celebration is associated with connection and relationship. So you connect to relate. Because if I don't, there are certain things I can never admire of you. So it can bring us into that close proximity. It is an occasion when one show your admiration. You're admiring somebody. You see, that's why, and one of it is celebration. What are we celebrating? We're now celebrating the virtue of that person. Now, so let's look at some of the attributes of virtue that he displayed. And now, if he said, if you love me, keep mine. One of the things that, Sammy recall that it's always very important when somebody's dying. He said, what was his last words?
Yeah, true.
You remember? Everybody's asking, did he say anything?
Attention to last words.
Yeah. So what is it? So the same person we're celebrating left out with certain attributes that he said. One of them is goodness. So in StandOut, when we say dwell in goodness, is to see your life from that point that this celebrated person, one of the attributes is goodness. But I have come to give you everything in abundance, more than you expect. Life its fullness until you overflow. So we need to overflow with goodness, because he said he was good. He went about doing good, healing all manner of diseases. So one of the attributes of Christ is goodness. In fact, he was goodness personified. Every time he shows up. Now, if we're admiring and celebrating, that means, why should I kidnap another person? Why should I steal from another person? Why should I not be good to my neighbor? One other thing is truth. He said he's the way, the truth, and the life. Thou shalt know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Lies is poison. What is that? Wisdom. Now he said he has our God-given wisdom, our virtue and holiness and redemption. I love the next one, love. Unconditional, non-judgmental, but reconciling. So we're not called into that atmosphere of judgmental spirit, but hey, unconditional love. Power to tread upon every ugly thing. Justice. So the 5 ways that we can honor today is, number 1, do, act of his attributes. If you can't pick anyone, be good. Dwell in goodness. That has been our message. Dwell in goodness. Create out of goodness. What's the second one? Celebrate by highlighting his emulated attributes. So now, Christmas. So let us celebrate and honor him by celebrating the attributes. So don't be selfish. Go into the hospital, visit somebody, care for somebody. Then the other one is remember his words. Let's remember the words of and live by it, because he say greater works we will do. Copy and adopt his values, then exceed his works. Merry Christmas. Dwell in goodness. Be kind, be considerate. Live in joy.
They say I want to leave your speech as perfect as it is and not ask questions, but not today. Merry Christmas, Mr. Patrick.
Merry Christmas, and thank you again for what you've done all the year. And you can't emulate him and live in sadness. You may be on sick bed. There may not be rice to eat. There may not be chicken. You may not have attend. But listen, he represents goodness, and we can still live in goodness.
Indeed, I agree. Emulation, celebration. That's how honor works. All right, so let's focus on people for a minute.
Yeah.
As you gave the example of honoring your father, if I decide to honor people around me, which should happen really, and there's that admiration, as you said, celebration. Can I have selective admiration? Like there are parts of your life that I like and parts I don't like. Say somebody is kind, he's gentle, he's approachable, he's whatever, but maybe he's a drunk. For example. So I would look to his life, and obviously there are parts that I like and parts that I do not like. Can I have selective admiration?
Let me share experience. A particular young man walked up to me and said he hates his father because he was a drunk.
Okay.
And I said, you're judging your father without a compassion. Can we go deeper to find out why he was a drunk?
Okay.
So I asked him, go buy him a drink, follow him to where he drinks. After, use your money buy. When you hug him, say, I love you. The next day, follow him. And after the third one, the man ceased.
I don't understand.
Because now all he wanted at that point was just empathy. So that's why selective kindness or goodness, you become judgmental. Because in compassion, precede judgment or exceed judgment. We're not so saying that cast your pearl upon the swine.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But we're saying let your attention not be conditional, because you never can tell what that act of kindness or goodness can do.
That's interesting, Mr. Patrick. So what's happening with StandOut?
Hey, we keep standing out and keep dwelling in goodness, getting better. We'll take a break, not on radio, we're still here.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll take a break.
So no meetings till 2022.
No meetings till 2022.
Wonderful. All right, for those who'd like to connect with StandOut on social media,
go to www.soistandard.com. We have resources there. Then you can also follow us on Twitter or all the social handles, So I Stand Out.
Okay. And those who want to connect with you?
0033 411 451. 0033 411 451.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick.
Merry Christmas. Sir.
Merry Christmas to you too.
I hope there's chicken.
Yes, there is chicken. Have yourself a wonderful celebration. Well, thanks for being a